The Armour All Summer Grill, your off-season fix of V8 supercars news and views, with Grant Rowley and Cameron McConville.
Today on the Armour All Summer Grill, the Armour All Gold Coast 600, the popular Gold Coast event where international drivers come and compete with our regular V8 supercar stars. Cam, you were involved in the first one in 2010. You got to take home a surfboard as well. This year you weren't invited, but all 28 cars had international co-drivers. What do you think?
Yeah, look, it worked very, very well. I mean, I'm disappointed not to be in it. It's a fantastic event. I think mixing up the co-drivers is going to be the contentious thing going forward, because teams like Roland Dane, 888, Toll HRT, some of the bigger teams certainly grab their drivers quite early, and there's talk about mixing it up, that you can't run the same drivers. So I think the team owners will have a few things to say about that. The event is a massive success, no doubt about it, and it's going to grow on the international calendar. Just a matter of some of the drivers overseas being able to come out and make it work within their racing calendar.
You mentioned Roland Dane there. He picked up a couple of new surfboards from that event. SpeedCafe.com's Stefan Bartholomew spoke with Roland about what the event means for the teams.
Roland, the Gold Coast 600 format with international co-drivers is a pretty wild concept. What do you think it brings to the category as a whole?
Well, firstly, it brings us the basis on which the Gold Coast 600 is built now, and our relationship with the Queensland government, which is around promotion of Queensland, and in particular the Gold Coast as a destination. So I've been in favour of the concept all along. In fact, I actually thought of the concept years ago as a way of enhancing another round of the championship, but I'm glad, like all good ideas, it came home last year. And so I'm a big fan of the concept, and I think it has brought us international recognition for sure, especially in the industry, but more particularly now that we've had 28 drivers here this year rather than 18 last year. We've now got 28 guys who'll go and sing the praises of Queensland, of Surfers Paradise, and of V8 supercars around the world for the next 12 months, at the same time as having great television coverage out of that event, both not only across Australia obviously, but internationally, whether it was in Europe or whether it was in Asia with ESPN Star, or whether it was in the United States with Speed, as has been well documented.
Does it help your race team as well, having guys of the calibre of Seb Bourdais and Andy Priaulx come into the team?
Look, it's always nice to work with guys who are as professional as that. Those guys are two of the most professional drivers that you'll come across in racing. So it's difficult not to take anything out of the experience for all of us as a race team, as drivers from Jamie and Craig's point of view, in the same way that Seb and Andy both said that they were able to take a lot out of the experience as well. So I love working with people like that.
As Roland Dane just said, the calibre of driver that raced on the Gold Coast this year was excellent, even though the field wasn't littered with household names, including guys like factory BMW driver Joey Hand, who teamed up with James Moffat.
James, your best weekend of the year really was on the Gold Coast. How much did having Joey Hand in the car help?
Look, Joey was a great influence for me, I think, up at the Gold Coast. His experience in terms of just the way he went about setting the car up, and his feedback was a big eye-opener for me. And for that matter, Dirk Muller, Steve's teammate as well, coming from being factory BMW drivers, they were class acts, and it was good for me having Joey in the car to bounce ideas off, and we were fortunate enough that we could rely on his feedback, and we didn't start the weekend off very strong at the Gold Coast in terms of car speed, but certainly by Saturday we had that sorted, and a lot of that was due to Joey's feedback on the car and the changes we made with him during his 2 co-driver sessions. So it also helped that we got on straight away from when he arrived in the country, so especially Saturday was good fun to share that with him.
That was James Moffat. Jason Bright was one of the drivers who was slightly against the format in 2010. In 2011, he changed his tune.
Is it refreshing to have an international come into your car just for one event and give you a bit of a different perspective on everything?
I think it is. I mean, I got to admit I was one of the sceptics when the format was first announced. Not so much a sceptic in the sense that I didn't like the idea of it. I knew it was a factor in making the event survive, and the Queensland government was pretty strong on wanting some international flavour in the event, so it had to be done. it was certainly a concern that we had to do it at a street track, and it was certainly a concern initially when only half the field had to have an international driver. This year's format with all of the drivers worked much better. I think it's great that we do have international drivers coming into all the cars. The calibre of drivers is awesome, and it's just a shame that trying to fit in with other international calendars is such a problem, because there's no doubt that the series is certainly attracting drivers from all different series, drivers that probably would never have looked at Australian touring car racing or V8 supercar racing ever before, and these days we can attract the really great names of the sport. It's so it would be great if we could dodge all of the other international calendars. I know that's not that easy though.
That was Jason Bright. That's the Armour All Gold Coast 600, and you're on the Armour All Summer Grill. Lots of Armour Alls going on. We'll see you tomorrow.